Hi everybody, Ben from X-Geeks. Welcome back to Cafe Rain. We're off to the nature reserve. Oh, we've found it. There we go, straight there.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken. I'm not sure what I expected to find here. I need to clear my head.
By having a cigarette, of course. Are we good? Oh, it's that guy from the dream.
What the?
We've met before, haven't we?
No creepy crusts.
Nope.
Yeah, let's
no.
go for the less
I
offensive.
remember a creepy bald dude with makeup.
Memories can deceive, Kathy. Dig deeper.
This guy's
Who are
creepy
you?
as.
How do you know my name?
You told me, remember?
So where's his mate? His clone that's upside down.
I feel
Bloody Nosferatu.
strange. Am I dreaming?
Oh, we've dreamt about
It's
you.
the mending. I will try to facilitate.
The mending. Is that like the Shining?
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy.
Looks much better there than he does there. Looks a
mean
lot,
Lily? What
lot
about
slimmer.
her?
She's the anomaly, the missing refrain.
He looks
The
there like he's stung by a
convergence point
wasp.
Of things past and events yet to happen.
Okay,
Dial
convergence.
down the metaphors a notch, would you,
Okay.
Mr. Kafka? I get enough of that shit in English class.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You
What
see,
is
my
going on
name
with this
was taken
guy?
From me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
Well, we didn't get to do much investigating there, did we?
Wait, what? How did I get here?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I going crazy? Am I turning into Mom?
No. We'll just... Let's go back, because... I mean, we need to investigate the flower, and we could see it, but we just couldn't touch it. Hello? Oh, skip that, sorry.
Creepy bald guy. Guess no one's home.
Piece of
What's
paper.
this?
It's got some kind of red... Is it blood? Oh, it's a drawing. Oh, the red man.
Bald man dressed in red.
Oh, of course! It's what her brother, is it Nathan Myers? What he's been drawing, he's talking about the red man. He was like, oh yes, it's Santa. But yeah, that dude's wearing a red suit. How did I not... Oh, I'm sure you were there like, oh, look, it's the red man. I did not put that together. And it looks like I need to put this piece of photo, well, the drawing back together. Doesn't seem to be any other clue on it. So, if we go to the cabin, I wonder if we can show it to the brother. Oh, and he's gone. But
No Nathan
it looks
today?
like
Nah, haven't
there
seen
is
me
another
all
half
day. Probably out
half
in the
of
woods.
drawing there. So let's... Lily meet the red man.
Looks like Nathan
Wow.
knows the strange red man. I need to talk to him about this.
The red man. Now we are getting somewhere.
Do you know who the red man is?
Oh, that's just Nate's imaginary friend. The red man has been around ever since my boy was little.
I
Okay.
see. So there's no actual person in town he could be referring to?
No way!
And
According
to
to
be
Nathan,
fair,
the red man
if we remember that
hasn't
dream with the
changed in 30
with the red
years.
man and the white man, it was in this room, wasn't it? But it just looked a bit different. So maybe it's like kind of like a different, like an upside down Stranger Things kind of things, like a different levels and planes and stuff. I don't know. Let's
The
be
red
honest.
man actually exists. I met him in the forest.
What? That's crazy talk.
Yeah,
Stop
okay,
kidding.
I thought that was the way that was going to go. So I wonder if the flower is just like a red herring style thing of we don't actually need to go to the go back to the nature reserve. Take off on the catmobile. Because I know we do need to go to the sheriff's station. Now the Charles Wade's given us permission, but I just want to go back to the nature reserve just to have a quick check.
It's endangered. I'm not going to take it without a really good reason.
Okay, so it looks like we can do something with it. That's an exit. That's an exit. Okay. Hey, Sheriff. Now you better start talking.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
Benny,
Yes, boss.
get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86.
On
The
it,
year
boss.
before I was born.
There you go, Kathy.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, let's have a look at this police report then. The alarm is triggered. House empty at the time. Neighbours contact law enforcement. Neighbours are spelt wrong. There needs to be a U in there. Officers arrive at the scene. Several broken windows can be observed. Sweep the state surrounding premises. Reveal no trace of the perpetrators. Single witness identified as Franklin Goldfarb reports seeing multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime. Charles Wade arrives at the Common Springs to make an official statement. The art in question has not yet popped up in any circles that are known to be... Yeah, okay, so not been fenced or anything like that. Okay.
I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary.
Right, so if I'm following the format of the game, we need to go back to Granny and see if she knows. Although, would Mrs. Myers know? I don't know.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is? He was
yeah,
a friend of
ask about
Grandpa's.
Jimmy first.
I believe he teaches at the flight school these days.
Okay, so he was at the Air Force
I don't
Base.
think so, at least not anymore. I was told he was placed in a mental
Oh
facility.
yeah, of course he was. Yes.
He always
It's been a few days since I last recorded the last episode about the where we found out about that, so that's understandable.
There's more. I found out that Jimmy asked Grandpa for help not long before Grandpa ended up in that wheelchair.
Let's
Does the name Franklin
please say
Goldfarb
yes.
mean anything to you?
Oh, that poor man.
Here we go.
He used to be an upstanding citizen, you know. Now he's constantly drinking and keeps babbling on about that imaginary acting career.
Oh wait,
of his.
Goober.
Sad thing. Do you know where I can find him?
He's homeless, dear. Lost his job a few years ago and never really got back on his feet.
Oh, so we've met him like.
Now I know who you're talking about. Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, exactly. We need to go find him. So he's Franklin got.
See you
So
later,
he's
Grams.
Take care, dear.
bloody Goober. Headphones off.
I
Talk
need
to
a
me
word, Miss Mendez.
yourself.
Wait, how do you know my name?
It's written on that board behind you, genius.
You have the eyesight of a bald eagle or something?
What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. What
Oh, I
happened
love
to
Cafe
Goober,
Ray.
anyway?
Who?
The guy who had the seizure?
Oh, he ran off somewhere. Kept babbling about a religious near-death experience.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, so he's gone to the church? So we need to go to the graveyard. And there he is.
Hello, Father.
Greetings, my child. I'm glad you decided to come here.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm not here to join your church or anything.
Oh, I would never assume that.
You see in the window,
Good.
the
So,
stained
with
glass
that out
window,
of
look
the
at the
way,
circles.
I have some questions.
Like
Anything you
portals.
need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy.
And we've
Ray,
learned
but
that
I'm
his
guessing
father
you
was a
figured that out
wrong 'un.
already.
And so cool, but this guy
Rumors
is
spread
actually,
quickly around here.
supposedly, at least
So
we know
how
he's a
can
good
it be
guy and he's
useless?
kind of sorted the church out, so we'll see. I don't know what I'd ask him about. Ask him about the church?
Care to tell me the history of the church?
I'd be happy to. The story is a fascinating one. This church was founded by my father, William T. Price, in the 70s. Back then, he made his living as a traveling salesman and was driving through this area as he'd done so many times before.
Okay.
However, this day was different. My father held dark thoughts in his mind. He was angry, thinking of evil deeds, even considering
So at
swerving
least
off the
he's
road
not
into
trying
a
to
rock
hide
and
the
ending
fact
it
that
all.
his father
Then suddenly, divine intervention.
had
3
issues.
bright lights appeared. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the sign of God. This epiphany was the moment my father had been waiting for.
So is that what that is then? The sign guard the three circles.
To live with him here in Conwell Springs. Soon thereafter, he built this church and started gathering followers. They began to refer to him as Father Bill.
I take it that window up there resembles what he saw when he had this epiphany?
Indeed. The stained glass window depicts the Holy Trinity as witnessed by my father.
Do you
Batman,
know exactly
Wonder Woman,
when
Superman.
or where this event took place?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. It's a captivating story.
Well, it was in the spring of 1971, but my father never told anyone where.
Okay, so what happened then?
People flocked to Father Bill. He started teaching.
So he had that kind of like
scripture.
cult of personality thing going on.
The church flourished and continued to grow all the way up until his sudden death in 1983. That's when I stepped in to take leadership of the church.
I take it that the church started declining after the death of Father Bill?
Yes, naturally so. With such a magnetic personality, he was irreplaceable. But I assure you the church is still very much thriving.
Looks kinda empty to me.
It's not really our peak hours.
What's up with you handing out pamphlets at funerals then? Trying to reel people in at a weak moment?
I'm going to assume you meant no disrespect, child. I'm simply
Well,
providing
you say
divine
that.
guidance when it's needed the most.
Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I'm afraid not, my child.
Well, he's sat right there. But okay, fair enough. I mean,
Do
it's
you
all
know
about this
anything
incident
about
in
what
81.
happened to my grandfather in
We need to
81?
find out what happened.
It was the work of the devil, I'll say that much.
Okay.
Joseph was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate. You heard my speech at the funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man who did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way, he and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?
I wouldn't say that, no.
No,
was a
so he
friend
wasn't
of the
quite
church,
drinking the
but he wasn't a
Kool-Aid like the
religious
rest of
man.
them.
He believed only in philanthropy. That being said, Joseph was the person who convinced me to become a priest.
Really?
Oh yes, I was a teenager back then, full of rebellion, every fiber of my being wanting to distance myself from my father. Joseph made me realize my sinful pride, and showed me how I should follow my heart, regardless of what others might think. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize...
I don't think he's going to be any help.
Do you recognize the men in this picture, Isaac?
Only your grandfather, and that's just because I was given a similar picture for the service the other day.
Yeah, okay.
Does the name Lily Myers mean anything to you?
It does. I was a substitute teacher in her high school for some time before I was ordained.
Really? Did you know her personally?
We weren't close. I only knew her as much as a teacher would know any student.
Alright, so how
Possible
did she
dodgy
seem
link there,
toward the
but
end?
we'll see.
For one, she started skipping school a lot. And when she did show up, she was absent-minded and moody. She always looked depressed and hunched down like she had a whole world on her shoulders.
Yeah, I
Any
think the
idea
red
what
man's
caused this
influence there.
change?
Not a clue. All I know is that when she returned from that last summer break, she was a whole different person.
Do you know anything about an art theft at the Wade estate in the 80s?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
That's all I need for now, Father.
Okay.
May the Lord shine his light on you.
Yes. Well, very good. Alright, let's talk to
Hello
Goober.
again, Goober.
You again? Are you stalking me, girl? You pop up everywhere I go. I'll try to tone down the charm, but I can't promise anything.
Huh, yeah, you're quite the charmer.
I know. I just said that, man.
Listen, I feel kind of bad about the electrocution.
Oh, that's what it was. What a cherry on top of my stellar performance.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing.
So what brings you to the house of God? Come to repent?
I'm afraid that ship has long since sailed, buddy. I had a few things I wanted to ask you about, though.
Shoot, Missy.
For a start, we know who you are.
Your real name is Franklin Goldfarb, right?
Oh, nobody calls me that.
Regardless, I know for a fact that you were a witness to a burglary a few years back at the Wade estate.
Yeah, what about it?
Why don't you tell me what you saw exactly?
I heard the alarm go off, glass breaking, then I saw 3 guys running away, carrying a bunch of stuff.
What did they look like?
It was dark, I don't know, they were definitely 3 big, bulky guys. They,
Big, bulky guys.
They what?
Oh, nothing. That's it. Didn't see anything else.
Bullshit. Spit it out.
Well, one of those guys dropped his ring when running away. I sort of pawned it.
A ring? What kind of ring?
Platinum with an inscription. 2 letters. B something. Man, I don't remember. My
B
photographic memory
something.
stopped working in 1979.
Which pawn shop was that?
Pete's Pawning and Plumbing.
Pete's
Closed down a
Pawning
long
and
time ago, though. Owner left town. There's a coffee shop back there now.
Too bad. Guess that's a dead end. Thanks anyway. Didn't I see 2 letters fitting that description recently? Not on a building. It was something small.
I mean, I'm glad the game's prompted us on that one, because I have no idea what we've seen that on.
I don't need to ask him about that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't need to ask. I should probably confront him
Yeah, okay. So, well, that's it.
I already asked him about. Didn't I see 2 letters fitting that description not long ago?
Right, okay, so we need to try and find this.
That's all.
See ya.
But I can't for the life of me think of where it is, so I'm going to end the episode there, because I'm going to have to do a bit of a location jumper to try and spot it, and then we'll cut in the next episode at that location. So yes, lots of information. The red man has made his presence known. What about the white man? I'm intrigued. I'm not too sure where this is the story's going, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. So please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.